Hi everyone, today I would like to go over a variety of ways to accumulate Unity accolades. So one of the best ways to do this is during Gain Experience Records of Eminence. So Gain Experience takes place from 7 a.m. Eastern till 11 Eastern on Sunday, 11 p.m. Eastern to 3 a.m. Eastern Monday, and 3 p.m. Eastern to 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. Let me show you how good this is. So the best way to accumulate quickly experience points during Gain Experience is by cleaving, and my favorite zone to cleave is Escha Zeta. I go to zone number 2, and you want to use a job that you can do AoE magic. In my particular case, I like to use a blue mage. You want to get yourself a modifier because if you get an NM, that would delay you. So I go to Porto number 2. There are some people already here, but I just want to show you the general idea. So typically you want to call in a healing trust, so I will pick Mon Barracks, Korumoru, and Kupofrite, because it just boosts your experience output. Okay, for blue mage you want to do something that will help you survive, so I do unbridled learning, diffusion, and I'm gonna call a spell called Karcharian Verve. What this ensures prevents a spell interruption. Right. One other thing I want to point out in this zone is that when you set up your records of eminence, make sure that you go under combat region, Escha 1, and tag the mobs that you're going to be fighting. So in this case, you go to 4, which is the dragons, and you select the 6, which is the pucks. So these guys will boost your further output. So let's look at this. So I have 1 Unity accolade. That's it. Okay, typically you want to be in your DT set when you do this. So my trick with this is that okay, he's cleaving. So you attack 1 mob, you get a decent hate, and then you just run with it, and the trust's gonna keep you alive. So as you can see with this method, beside the Karcharian Verve, there is really no other buffs you need to cast. So let's just grab everything that moves. What I like also about Escha is that the mobs here aggro, so it's easier for you to pull things. Wow, look at this train. It's so crowded and nice here. So what you want to do here is you want to sleep them with Dream Flower, and then you want to do elemental nukes. So ice, spectral flow, that's all she wrote. So how good was this? So we went from 1 accolade to 10,399. This is even faster during a campaign where you get the double accolades. So Estra is a good candidate here for this. Portal number 2. If you have a good DT set, Rashigina, it's even better, and over there you can tag mobs and of that zone, and also crystals that drop, which makes this even faster. But yeah, you need a good damage taking set, because if you don't, they will take your head off. So gain experience is a limited time challenge objective which lasts 4 hours. There are other limited time challenge objectives. The next best one are magic damage kills and physical damage kills. That means you have to kill 20 mobs physically and 20 mobs magically. Next one on the list is obtain seals. You need to obtain 3 of any type of burning circle seals. And then the following one is vanquish aquans, beasts, lizards, plantoids, and vermins. You have to vanquish 20 of the type of mob, and here you just have to change zones after the 4 hours up. And the worst one is crack treasure caskets, which they expect you to crack 20 treasure caskets. And how do you know which time objective is currently on? Well, it's very simple. Simply go to quests, record of eminence current, and it's going to be all the way on top. So right now we are vanquish vermin. If you want to know which schedule to use or when these things are coming up, you can just look at BG. I will leave the link in the description so you can check this schedule out here. So besides these timely record of eminence events, is there a way to get accolades? You bet. So let me show you guys what you can do. So you go to quests, and again back to the records of eminence settings, and under current you will notice that I have a lot of things checked off. So as you do day-to-day things in this game, you can still acquire accolades. So this is what I recommend you have set up. Vanquish multiple enemies 1. So that means every time you vanquish 200 enemies, you will get 1000 sparks and 100 accolades. Then you have another one, deal 500 plus damage. So if you do this 200 times, you will get 1000 sparks and 100 accolades. Besides that, you know, we acquire all types of different rocks. So spoils you can do, check that off, and it adds up bit by bit. So these guys give you 200 sparks and 20 accolades. Ifrit will give you 200 sparks and 20 accolades. And if you do get Signet or you fight in Reshinjima, it's also recommended that you also track crystals. So crystals will also give you sparks and accolades. Also, you can increase it by total success or synthesis attempts. So every 30 synthesis, I will get 100 sparks, 10 accolades. This is especially good if you have crafting mules. Then based on, like I mentioned before, based on the regions that you fight in, you can set the maps up. So I have Reshenjima set up and Eshchazita. So where these things are located. So the regional combats are under combat region. So just locate the zone where you're fighting. So Reshenjima is under Eshcha 2, Eshchazita is under, and Eshcharuan under Eshcha 1, and you have other zones here. So this is recommended. Then you have, let me see, combat wide regions. You can go with spoils. So here you can set the crystals, the rocks. You can also, if you're fighting specific mobs that drop like lizard skin, beetle shell, so you can also set these guys up. So just let's visualize it. So every 2 you'll get 100 sparks and 10 accolades. Then there is also a trick. If you have ambuscade set up, content ambuscade, you can set up a volume 1 primer, and sometimes it can fall on an area where you're going to be trying to acquire accolades. So by having this thing checked off, you can get 100 sparks every 3 kills. So let's see how this works in practice. So I have, I'm outside the record of eminence gain experience. Let's go back to Eshchazita, and with my blue, let's cleave, see how fast the sparks and accolades will get accumulated. So I'm at 73,568 Unity accolades. I have for this zone enabled vanquish multiple enemies, deal 500 plus damage, obviously any of those rocks, and then Escha, Zeta 4 and 6 for packs and dragons. So let's see how many accolades I can do per pass. So let's see, how do we do? So I went up to 75,436, which comes down to 1,868 accolades. So this one pass net me almost 2,000 accolades. So I'll keep going back and forth, and sooner or later you can max them out. And lastly, I have a surprise for you. One of the best ways to get accolades is doing Voidwatch. Let me show you. Teleportation assistance, treasure of Acht Ugan, Arpego Reef, there's a mob here that has a lot of HP. How much? Whoa, you're talking about millions upon millions. Several million. This zone tend to be busy. But not today. So plantar rift at I-10 right here. Call some healing trusts like Moonbaraks, Sakura, Bridget, Korumoru, and Queen Hatana. So since this guy has several millions of HP, you guys basically gonna be relying on the following records of eminence setting. Deal 500 plus damage. And the trick here is to have as good triple attack set as you can and use daggers that will hit over 500 damage, but don't kill him before the time runs out. So I decided to go with Kartika in my main hand and Bartholomew knife in my offhand. So let's see how this works. He is a friend. Dimgruzub. So this will refill your sparks faster than Accolades. Every time you hit 500 or more damage more than 200 times, you gain 1,000 sparks and 190 Accolades. But it adds up. Typically people will do this 4 times for 2 hours to get their sparks refilled and a good chunk of Accolades. And people typically just get out of the room and just come back after before the time expires so they can engage this again. And sometimes there will be a line here. You know, people will wait for you to finish before then engage. So I hope you guys enjoy this little tutorial. Let me know how it works out for you, and please subscribe. You know, your support is appreciated. All the best. Bye bye.